Okay, so we're recording an episode that almost certainly isn't going to work, so I don't even know if this is even worth giving a fuck about, but here we are, episode 45. Our producer didn't show up today, so between the three of us, not three of us, these two guys, they figured out how to set up the recording, we think. How confident are we in the Devin?
I see lines on the...
Yeah, there's audio moving. I can't see shit in the camera.
As usual, Tyler's lines are huge. Yeah. I'm not talking about the back of a toilet.
Why does this line look like it has a deviated septum?
We should, we really are going to have to kick the shit out of Brett James for this.
To be alive if you can't do that.
Here we are, episode 45, here at the Whiskey Tango Studios.
Turn both 1 and 3 down. Devin.
Oh, man. Are we too loud?
Well, the lines are jumping off the computer.
All right.
I think
See how we don't do this regularly?
This is a sneak behind the curtain of how fucking annoying it is to put together these podcasts sometimes.
Yeah.
If anybody has $1 million bucks...
You turn mine down?
Did I turn yours down? No. Should I?
Well, I don't...
Yeah, I got you.
Use your other...
I got
there
you.
we go. There we go.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Ooh, Devin in the captain's chair.
I've got this, guys. Yeah.
We did that once when you and Brett were both gone at the same time. And it
man.
did work. It worked.
And I hate feet, and this cocksucker won't move his damn feet behind me, so I'm stuck molesting this desk.
We're back here at the Whiskey Tango Studio with in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I'm back. I brought some topics of conversation, so we shouldn't have to resort to Devin's like Bible camp jokes that we got to last time.
Those were pretty good, guys.
No, they were not.
I got some
they were
pretty good reviews on
some
that.
hacky fucking jokes.
I got some pretty good reviews on that podcast.
Also, there was one. I will say that I always do laugh at Devin's jokes, not because the jokes are good, but because Devin's delivery is funny. Where he's like, "You know why women never know what they should want to eat?" It's like, what?
Delivery's half the battle, man.
But I do. That's the thing is, I even though the jokes aren't funny, I do find
a good joke keeps them guessing.
I find all the way through, including the punchline. You should always be guessing as to what
no
the hell.
confidence on what is happening, and I deliver those with ease.
You should always be unsure as to what's happening with your jokes. What's going on with you guys this week?
Shout out to our sponsor.
Yeah. Let's get started right off the bat with our amazing sponsor, Jeremy Wiens Realty. Devin, take it away.
Wiens World Realty, Jeremy Wiens Realty. Look him up. We've said it before. We'll say it again. Best realtor in the business.
Sure.
I'm actually having a meeting with him tonight. We're going to hang out a bit and go over some things. So
You're going to goal set with him?
actually, that's Denzel. We're goal setting. Yeah.
Actually,
You guys laugh. That's actually what we're doing.
Tell me true.
Yeah, it is true. It is true, guys. Trying some different things out in life.
there's nothing wrong with trying new things, Devin. Don't worry. We're just giving you a little
Out
light
in the country.
razzing.
It's about the most devious thing we do is goal setting.
Goal setting plans.
Yeah. No, but look him up. Great realtor. Honest guy. Straight to the punch. I know Tyler said he's going to look him up. He's going to be contacting him. So
Yep, we're gonna.
That's
have,
good.
I
That's
got
good
some
to
stuff
know.
Coming up, and this is something that we started talking about when we were trying to figure out this fucking goddamn podcast, how
Shit's
to
falling
record
apart.
it. But one thing that I appreciate is somebody who's like Jeremy Wiens, who's getting involved in.
damn feet keep getting closer.
He trains at your gym, like he trains with you. He sponsors the podcast. Does all the things that help us out when he doesn't need to. There's not like it's any there's no requirement on his end to do that. So
Nope.
it's just a nice thing. And I said this to Beeks because and Devin will appreciate it too. But when you own a small business, it really opens your eyes as to how unimportant it is for you to patronize other small businesses because they don't give a fuck about you. Like when it's time for you to patronize something.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I need to buy a car. Just as an example, I haven't had this experience. But if I was going to buy a car, I'd be like, you know what? I know a guy who sells cars. I should go to that guy who sells cars. But then I can think to myself, does that motherfucker go to my gym?
Yeah.
Because the odds are is that he doesn't. And
Yeah.
he probably goes to a gym, but not mine.
Yep.
So that means I
Definitely
have...
a good life guy.
Yep, exactly. And I have... So that's been kind of like the release of opening my
Car
own small
salesman?
business.
Sounds like that's Planet Fitness type of dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, but the beauty of owning your own small business is that it kind of like relieves you in that way. You don't feel like you have to do that shit anymore because I've always been a guy who tries to like my first, second, and third calls are people that I either know or friends of friends or small businesses or whatever it might be, even if it's not somebody that I know. And then now I'm just relieved.
Well, you're good. You sent your brother to me. I did contact last week. I'm doing his quote.
yeah.
So that's good. And you do that. You're that type of guy. If you know somebody, you'll send him over.
And why wouldn't I, right?
Yeah.
But that's a nice feeling to be like, well, you know, like if I need shirts or something, like, well, I do know a guy who makes shirts, but he doesn't go to my fucking gym, so I'm gonna go to another guy that makes shirts for cheaper. So that's that's the game that I'm playing right now.
And,
with my
and
stuff.
I realized that during COVID, actually, I had guys that because I have a gym and there's another town 10 minutes up that has a gym, and I was on the board there for many years, and so we all shut down when COVID hit, and word got around that I was still opening for my members only, not new members, my members, and a guy I've known for years and friends with contacts me. Hey, you know, I know you still got your gym, and I know you're against the stuff. So, but can me and you be training partners? That way I can keep training. This guy's never had a membership at my gym. It's the same distance from his place, to same periods from his place to my place, and he won't get a membership at my gym. But then when COVID hit, he wanted me to risk it all to let him in.
Oh, there were a lot of calls like that.
Well, I was gonna say when we got, cause a lot of the gyms voluntarily shut down first, right? Because they're pussies. Not McDonald's, not Midtown. Yeah, we rode that shit out until they came and like fucking locked the door. But it was funny because it was like a good example of these two, like you and McDowell, being a little more like even-handed with that stuff. When I was a little more like, these guys are like they're gonna pay us to come here right now. Like, why wouldn't we? Like, let's take their fucking money and then just like whatever. And then there's obviously something to be said for just a bunch of fucking jabronis coming in and paying for 2 months or a month or whatever, and then leaving again as soon as it's done.
Yeah, and then you get nailed at $5,000 fine. They would.
Well, we were allowed to be open at that point. Oh, okay. But the thing is that they're going to come in, they're going to fuck up everyone's rhythm there, they're going to fuck up your atmosphere, and they've never cared about giving you $1 before. Yeah. So it's like I said, it's a very like freeing feeling to realize that you don't have to give a fuck about those people or give a fuck about every small business because they don't really give a fuck about yours either, and that's fine. Yeah. But to put a cap on that, Jeremy Wiens Realty, he does give a fuck.
He does give a shit.
So hit his line, and if you need some realty,
and he does come to my gym.
Exactly,
an hour drive to come train with me some mornings.
There you go.
Yeah.
So if you need somebody, he's your man.
Yep, that's the guy.
I figured we start off the top here with. I should have confirmed with you off air if we could talk about this, but June 8th, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
he wanted to confirm with me yesterday. I confirmed it. He confirmed it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So you guys, unfortunately, you let everybody know that last week that Grunthal would not be a go this year. Yeah. It happens, you know, like the funding comes and goes on things like that. It's just the way it is.
And we've put on 5 shows there. I think I got 5 years out of this.
And they're great to us.
They were great.
It's just a business move on their part.
It's a restructuring of the fair. And I'm sure we'll be back. I think we'll be back in a couple years, but I got to just revamp some things.
Just give it a little time.
Yeah.
But one place that we went last year, and we made a great impact on them, and they really loved the competition, and we're excited to go again. Motherfucker, if you don't listen to what I'm saying right now and stop looking at your goddamn what?
You see my eye?
Yeah, it's a dick. Saw it last time you showed me too.
My dick?
That was harder to see, but it was. We are on June 8th.
It's actually life size.
That's actually they traced that off of your dick.
Let's talk about the show.
We'll have holy fuck! I'm gonna Manitoba's Strongest Man and Woman. Jesus Christ! June 8th, Morris, Manitoba. The show that was formerly the Rumble in the Valley will now be Manitoba's Strongest Man and Woman. Crowning.
That sounds like more Rumble in the Valley than anything else, anyways.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really great time. It's gonna be another pro-am competition, and we'll have another pro in the competition with Dan.
Yep.
So we'll have at least 2 professionals. If somebody comes out of absolutely fucking nowhere and does a pro show before then and gets their pro status, hey, all the power to them.
Yep.
The women's side, we've got I'm really really excited with last year was already awesome.
Yeah.
And this year everyone's just gotten better.
Oh, dude,
was more women. It's going to be a really exciting year for Manitoba Strong Women especially.
They were very excited when I talked to Brian from Rumble. That's who we're dealing with there. And I mentioned, hey, you know what, like the Pro-Am, I'm not really interested in the Pro-Am with the way we did last year with, wasn't enough, I think, for a bang for a buck. I said, how do you feel? I know, because it was a pro show and that's what they were sold on.
Right.
I said, how do you feel if we run Manitoba Strongest Man and Woman instead? And he's like, I actually prefer that.
Right.
He's like, I think we can draw a bigger crowd. And especially Pat being from Morris again, in that area, it draws a big crowd. Yeah. He's like, no, I would actually prefer that over the Pro-Am.
It is still
Pro-Am.
It's still a Pro-Am.
Yeah,
there's 2 pros in it, and that's exactly how many pros there were in it last year.
Yeah.
So this year it'll be a little bit of a change up there. We'll be having Manitoba Strongest Man much earlier than we normally have it.
So it'll be and that's going to be a bit of a toss-up because no one's peaked per se, but you're further into your strength in terms of the end of the season because you're trying to peak for the Nationals, so your strength is climbing all season.
But you look at a guy like Dan who competed,
but no one's injured generally coming into June
or just beat up. You know, like Dan competed 50 billion times last season.
Are you emceeing again for us?
Sure.
He
Strong and Petty on scene.
This year he'll be fresh. Like he's doing the Arnolds before that. Same with Pat.
Same with Pat. Yeah.
Yeah, and if Garrett does, is Garrett doing the Arnolds? His confused training is not really telling me that he is.
out.
Okay. Yeah.
I heard just that he had It's his, but it's still from that injury, I think, from nationals. But it didn't quite recover from what I'm hearing.
His training didn't seem like it was pointing towards the
Arnold.
That's why
I looked at too and asked Pat about it. I'm like, what's going on with Garrett? I should have messaged Garrett myself, but and Pat said from where he heard, he's gonna just focus on.
Okay.
He'll have to requalify for the Arnolds, but he wants to run it again. But he just wants to make sure he doesn't go to Arnolds and completely tear whatever went wrong at nationals. So
we have two
quitter attitude.
Yeah. So we have our two athletes.
Your bicep quit before you
take it right off the bone.
We have our two athletes that'll be heading there, but they'll be like, the training that Dan. I don't know. I can't speak for past training, but the training that Dan's doing going into it is it's a lot. It's very, very difficult. There's a lot. Like we're training 6 pressing implements.
Yeah.
We're training, his squat, which is like
the bottom up squat, which
bottom
is
up
absolute
squats.
hell.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like the sandbag, the sled drag. We're doing like BFR training for a sled drag stuff.
Okay.
It's been a lot of stuff that we're throwing at him. So there's kind of 2 ways that he could be. But by the time June rolls around, which is there's enough time in between the two, but he could be he's touching you there. It could be like he's
kind
of zapped or he's feeling fucking great. But we'll see.
Yeah, we're running the medley yesterday with Pat. I've only run the last couple weeks. I was building them up in separate events. Now we're actually running through the medley a bit. So we're running through it at 90% of comp weight, and he's blasting it all. Except circus time we're having a little bit of issues with because a bit of a shoulder tweak that we've had a couple weeks ago. We're trying to nurse.
He takes technique and he has no technique.
It's just all raw strength. Yeah. The guy literally, the first time he uses techniques, I've been drilling him for a year. I coached him last year, and then he takes the offseason and does some of his own stuff, so he can just do whatever he wants. That's just Pat. And then I coached him coming into this season, rolling into nationals, and I've been coaching him since. And you seen his deadlift the other day. Well,
that's what I want to talk about a little bit too. Don't bury the lead on this here.
Yeah, so we'll go into that later.
Huge fucking deal.
Yeah, so he's so we're doing the medley, and like the log 275, me, he's Viper pressing it. That's not an issue for him. The guy just boom us up. The axle clean it press, no issues. The barbell clean, like it's just a circuit stomach. We have a tweak and short. He's struggling a bit with that, so we're gonna have to dial that back a bit and see what we're doing. But sandbags we haven't done yet.
Sandbags.
My ceiling's only 14 feet.
Oh, the throwing. Sorry, I think the sandbag press. That's going to be the easiest one.
Yeah.
Dan's been going outside and doing sandbag
He has been, eh?
Pat's not. Of course. Pat's not doing that.
No, well, we got a shop we booked with 24-foot ceilings we're going to run.
Pat's staying inside and doing all his stuff inside, I guess. Doesn't want it quite as badly as Dan does, but, whatever.
He doesn't want his dippity-doo hair gel to freeze.
Pat's really good at the sandbag throw. He just doesn't need to do it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Should train him, just throw it through your roof.
Sandbag press is actually the easiest thing for him, which is
the sandbag press is the weight's light. Once you have the technique, once you have it figured out, it's actually
for Pat. He gets it to your shoulders. He's down there locked out anyways.
If he can grab the top of the bag, it's like literally wouldn't be over his head. Yeah.
Oh, it's funny to watch. So it's more jealousy.
That'll be a good one for him. And Dan has an easy one with that. Easy time with that.
Did you order Dinny Stone handles?
Not yet. I got to do that still.
Man, they're sold out on Cerberus. I was just going to bite the bullet. And Pat's like, don't worry about buying it for me. It's not fair to you to spend the money.
Rogue is cheaper than Cerberus. For the rings.
Why did I think they didn't have them?
Because you don't look.
Maybe Cerberus because they're using Cerberus at the show.
Rings, but they base them off of the actual Denny Stone rings. So the rings.
So I was reading reviews. No, that is true. Because I was reading review on Rogues, and they didn't have great reviews. Like people were saying they're very inconsistent from what the Denny Stones. But I guess it really doesn't matter.
Who gives a fuck? Yeah. Everyone's got. You need to have exactly the fucking.
The
Scottish.
Here I'm turning to the guy the guy hates.
Yeah,
Well, it's not exactly. I'm not using it. I need to know dimensions.
Yeah, you should be just fine with a pair of.
Yeah, and you're probably gonna screw me on the Viking press anyways.
What's that? Yeah. Oh, hey, yeah. You know what? Let's talk about that a little bit. Actually,
I'm not gonna but
no, we won't say any names or anything. But I just want to fucking dead this once. I want to dead this once and for all. Because and you know what I'm gonna do is that next time that I'm at your gym, I'm gonna make a video where we walk through weighing it.
Yeah.
How it works, because a lot of the competitors from Strongman Nationals are still unclear on physics and just how this works.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks that for some reason we weighed them wrong, the handles are weighed wrong. They were actually they were 70 pounds heavier than what they were supposed to be, and I don't know where guys are pulling that number out of their ass from somehow.
Not 5 pounds.
Not 5. 70. That's the number that they're pulling out. Oh, I heard that.
That's like 2 stone.
Someone told me there was it was 70 pounds heavier than it was supposed to be. Okay. It's absolutely not the case.
No.
We weighed these motherfuckers with a crane scale. Devin, would you mind please just breaking down how the weight works on it?
So the way his implants work is we listed a weight. We're going to use 280 for it because this is the one that came up as 280.
So your body weight?
My body weight minus 5 pounds. Yeah. And so the implant weighs 73 pounds, give or take. It's in between. We always round up 75 to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Give or take, there's already a hole
Yeah,
It
so the
could be
difference
70
is,
pounds
I'll
over.
actually, I made a comment on there about the leveraging and how it's slightly different height, and it is slightly different height. If you pick a very low pick and then you can get the lever up a little bit, and you might gain an extra % or 2 because you're pushed up a little higher. But
Not joking. % or 2 or pound or 2?
% or 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
That matters.
yeah, it does. Yeah, for sure it does. Yeah, but on 300 pounds, a percent's 3 pounds.
Yeah.
So you might gain 5 pounds leverage at best.
But it's not. But that's not
That's
saying
not
that
a-
you're,
that's-
that's not saying you're going to push 5 pounds more than the next.
If
guy.
that costs you 5 reps or 5 pounds,
Yeah.
then you've got something wrong. And there's an 80% weight transfer to the hands.
And that's, to be clear, that's just a Viking press. That's not
Yeah.
our Viking
No,
press.
that's
not. That's
a
just
Viking
that's
press.
just the way the Viking press.
So what
is
guys
built.
were doing leading to nationals is they were like, oh, the weight list is 280. So they would put 280 on their barbell Viking press they made at the gym with the Viking press handle on it, down levered, with a short throw. A
Right,
barbell is what,
that's
6 feet?
Yeah.
Where ours, I think, is 12 or 15 feet.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole different way that weight sits on that.
That's
on that
way
lever.
different.
These guys, and that's
Yeah.
the thing is that everyone trains with those things, and they are okay.
And I
They're
said in my
okay.
video, it is 280 pounds in the hands.
Right.
Like I said, we put my tractor out. We bought digital skills. I spent a lot of money on to get these things. They're 800-pound capacity because we knew we needed to weigh things heavy. And did the lever and lifted the apparatus up and down. And it was an 80% transfer to the hand. So we put 260 on, add the 73 pounds. It was rated 280 or 279. So this guy in training did 280 for 15 reps. This guy's not a 350-pound presser. I don't even know if it's a 300-pound presser, to be honest with you. Comes to nationals, bombs it, and says it's because it's 350 pounds.
But I heard that a lot. I heard
Yeah.
that from the open guys being like, "That's 400. That's got to be 400." And in fact, one of these motherfuckers was Sean Hayes, and I know you did that, you motherfucker. But
Sean, I'm highly disappointed here.
he put it in the group chat, the pros group chat. He's like, "Oh, this is heavier," and I'm like standing like literally this far from him, and I was like, "Oh, Sean's better at weighing things than a scale is." Didn't know that. Like I.
Is that what you put on there?
Yeah. But no, but guys guys wanted to believe, and I'm sorry that this is not the case. I'm sorry that this isn't true. I'm sorry that you're not as strong as you think you are, but the weight was correct, and it wasn't 70 pounds light. It wasn't 400 pounds for the open guys, because if it was, congrats to Dan who got 400 for 10 reps, because that's fucking awesome. And I think that if Dan was sitting here right now, he might tell you, I don't think that I have 400 for 10 reps.
Yeah.
So
Down to be honest with you and say 400 is something I've never put over my head.
right, and it's one of those things too where these guys who are complaining, it's like, okay, well, if the weight was too heavy for you, I'm sorry, but the guy who won the event got 11 reps.
Yeah.
So what can we ask this guy to do? 20 reps? We'll lower it so everybody can get a rep, so this guy has to do 20?
If you got 1 and the other guy got 11, if we lower it to where you can get 15,
So
this guy will
you
do a
feel
rep
good
a
about
second.
yourself.
Right, it's just,
Yeah.
and it's,
You still fucking lose.
it's,
Yeah.
and it's, and
There
it's
you
the
go.
same. It's the same thing, and it's just like, and the guy who, like, so Bryson won the overall in the men's masters
Yep.
heavyweight, and he got 6. So obviously this was like a good weight,
Yep.
where the guy who wins the overall gets 6 with it. The guy who wins that event gets 11.
Yeah.
We don't want to see guys hitting 20 reps on this fucking.
No,
thing.
we don't want to
That's
see guys just strict pressing it for fun.
No, so
Yeah, it's strongman, not cardio. It's not
that's-
CrossFit.
that's going to be the end of this
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Where if you hear someone, if you hear these rumblings, these murmurs, these whispers of the weights being wrong, of them being misloaded, of them being weighed wrong, of me and Devin just being big dumb idiots, I got bad news for you. We're not. Well, we are dumb, but we're not dumb
Yeah.
because of that.
Yeah.
And you're not as strong
The
as you
only
think
thing
you are.
misloaded was that guy's mom. I'll tell you that much.
And we're not going to talk about this again
Never.
until we talk about it again.
until I see another goddamn Instagram post,
Until see-
and I feel compelled to talk about it again.
Until I
But
get all butthurt again on Instagram. and post a
Oh,
big
wait.
rebuttal.
The thing we mentioned is that when the weight that you put onto the bar is 70% of the
80%.
80%. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's why it could look like it's really loaded up.
Yeah.
But it's actually lighter in the hands because of the lever.
Because
Yep.
of levers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you learned that in grade 10.
So
That's what I thought.
260 plus 70
Some
is
people did.
330
Some people did.
or 335, but it's the guy's like, and even so his math was even wrong to begin with.
Right.
Well, it's 280, it was less 280, and then it was 350.
And then plus 70 the handle.
And
it's
I'm
like-
looking at the plates. There's only 260 pounds
There's
on plates on this
260
thing.
there,
So where are
yeah.
you getting the extra 20 from to begin
Yeah,
with?
exactly.
Yeah.
Force of gravity is 3.98 meters per second.
And with how fast I drop, it's even more.
Thrones told me this really great one that I intend to use on somebody and see if they can, if their brain can figure it out. But they said that somebody in a comment wrote that when you're deadlifting or whatever, you shouldn't really count the bar as part of the weight because it's already in the air.
Stop it. There's no one that said that.
You know, when you're eating ice cream, you don't count the calories of the cone because it's already in your
It's already
hand.
in your hand.
That's
Exactly.
right in your hand.
It's already part of you.
Who
Yeah.
fucking said
I don't
that?
know.
If
I
we're
saw
not
that.
counting things that are in your hand, I don't even have an inch.
I saw it. And it was. Or he told me that, and I was like, "That's."
Devin's like, it's not gay. It's already in my hands.
It's one of those things where it's like so dumb that you can't even. It's hard to like argue it because it's like
I
where
had
do
to
you
let-
start? Like
I have to let that sit for a second before I'm like,
it's already in the air. Devin, what are you doing to that computer right now?
I don't fucking know the password.
Are we
It's
locked?
fine. No, just because I didn't touch it. It turned off.
Okay, text him and get the password. Please.
WTP SAP.
Uppercase?
Just try them both. Holy.
Oh God.
What content?
I'm gonna fucking kill Brett for
No,
not
we
being
got
here
this,
right now.
guys.
I'm telling him right now, I'm gonna kill fucking Brett.
I think it's all caps.
Okay, so
No cap, baby.
okay,
Yeah,
so
we're still running.
We're still recording.
No-
Great.
no
Perfect,
cap?
guys. No cap.
No cap.
You like that?
Facts, no
Sound
printer,
gangster,
no
I am.
cap.
Oh God, I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
You happy?
Okay,
You happy
so-
you're back?
Yeah, so happy to be back.
Yeah.
Okay, so another thing I wanted to bring
Clearly
up
seen
too.
the petty side of Strong and Petty last
This-
week. So
yeah. This is I have strong feelings about this right now. That's the strong. Okay, we talked a little bit about last time about the records for Manitoba stuff for strong man, strong/woman, whatever.
Yeah.
By the way, moving forward, strong man. That's what it's called, not strong woman. Can we agree on that? Allison Lockhart said that to me. She's like, it's called strong man, not strong woman.
no.
So I'm gonna if I say you're a woman competing in strongman, just understand that I'm saying that you're a woman competing in a sport, not whatever. You're not a man. So anyway, we have the strongman records for Manitoba for men and women, and one thing that we have to change now because Inspector Jeffers figured something out was that I had Dom at the record for
deadlift.
deadlift at 850. And we were talking about it in the group chat, and I was saying that might be the Western record right now, at least in competition, because I couldn't think of anybody who would have had an opportunity to pull more than that. Really, like he did that at CSM and whatever. And then Jeffers went back and he found it wasn't even a video of CSM. It was a video. Oh, sorry, it was a video from CSM. But Luke Scarab had posted like a highlight video of him competing at CSM in 2015, which is when the pull was. That pull was an 18-inch axle like tire pull.
Oh, that Dom was that
like a Hummer pull almost.
Yep.
So the record is not that for Manitoba. So the
What is
record
it?
is 827 right now, pulled from a deadlift bar from the ground.
from
Dom also
In competition.
in competition
Yeah.
in 2016 at Canada's Strongest Man.
Oh, okay.
Done on the second day of competition there, which again tells you he could have done more, but that's just the
Probably
way the cookie
8:30.
crumbles.
Was that with or without the bar? Because it's already in the air.
It's
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, it's actually 827 plus 45.
Yeah. What's the math on that?
I don't know. But the reason I wanted to bring that one up is to get into something else that was pretty fucking cool that happened in Manitoba Strongman this week. Is that we have our first active in a long time, and since about 2016 or 17, 800-pound deadlifter.
Yeah.
In Pat Gregoire.
Yeah,
So
Pat,
congrats to him. That was fucking awesome. Do you see the poll?
I haven't seen it. I
Pulled
heard about it.
803. Yeah.
You want to pull it up?
Yeah, and it was
Where would it be?
It's on his Instagram.
On Pat's?
It's at Training Grounds Gym.
Yeah, hey,
on-
like Training Grounds Gym has the best strongman
So
deadlifter
far
right now.
yeah, you know what? It was off program, and I wasn't there. That's why he did it. So he sent me the video, and I didn't check for 3 hours. So I was trying to stay away from my phone this weekend. I had my Bible study group in my cabin weekend. We were fishing. I'm like, I'm just gonna try to stay away from this thing a little bit. So I don't know if he was butthurt because he went off program, and then I didn't respond because I didn't actually look at the video either for 3 hours.
Yes.
So he's probably thinking, well, he must be really
He's
pissed.
pissed.
Yeah. But
Well,
you know what? I give him credit because it was calibrated plates. Just all the belted steel plates. So it was actually a calibrated lift. I was like, and
No,
I saw it. Yeah.
That's a great poll.
Because everything he does is better than me. I always say, well, I was on uncalibrated plates, so mine was probably heavier.
Yeah, he you watching it there? Yeah, so he smoked it, and I was watching it. I watched it with Thrones, and we both kind of agreed that I don't think he's getting much out of that suit.
No, he doesn't. No,
Because first of all, I have worn that suit.
no,
Like,
no, that's my suit. Your suit's in my house.
that's the smaller one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
that's my
okay,
suit.
Well, then I can't take it back. But still,
Well, smaller, like shorter. I imagine Devin's would be girthier.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
well,
but mine and your suit were only one size difference.
he bought the maternity style.
We were only one size difference in my suit to your suit.
Like, just smoked it. Didn't slow down even when the suit was
No, it
reaching
didn't
the
slow
top
down
end
or
or
lock
whatever.
out.
But look at
Yeah.
the way he's moving around stuff. I think that I don't think he's getting a ton of. I think that he's not really that jammed into that suit.
He
right
could
now.
go shoot hoops in that suit.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
that's good news. Is
He
that
got
he
some
could,
random kid at the gym to help strap into suit.
right.
Just it was him and some kid, and he got some kid to Velcro. So I could have got it in a lot more Velcroed in there, a lot tighter in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's the one piece. That's the one piece one.
Oh, was that?
Yeah, they're like it's like the solid fixed position
okay.
one. But that's what I'm saying is I think that he could get more out of that. Like
Yeah.
he's not really he's not reaching that max of what you get out of a suit.
I was
with that.
expecting him to hit 800 raw without a suit.
Oh, I think that he could do
Yeah,
that for sure.
because the reps he was pulling in the gym the other day raw, like when we did our little peak there a while ago, like just coming out of the Norwegian protocol, I'm like, you're going to hit that, no problem.
Yeah.
But like, don't hit it because we're leading in the Arnolds, and I
Right.
don't want your nervous system fatigued. So let's not
Yeah.
do the 1 rep max. Of course, I go to the cabin.
I love his logic, his like just retard strongman farm guy logic, where he's like, well, you know, I didn't want to. I know the suit, blah blah blah, but I got the Arnold's coming up, so I didn't want to completely sewer my training. So in his brain, he's like, rather than hit just like a heavy single without the suit, I put on a suit and go super maximal, and somehow that's
That's what I'm like.
that's saving himself.
We
for
aren't
his training.
even training in a suit
Yeah,
because there is no suits at the Arnolds.
there's also
I'm
no
like,
straight. There's also no
That's
straight
what I
bar
told you yesterday.
deadlift.
So he comes and does the medley. He's like, man, I'm feeling kind of gassed. You don't say that.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know, but you know what? I was at the cabin and I get the video, and I went to Bob's Day group. I'm trying to stay calm. I'm like, I'm happy and proud and mad at the same time. It's like when your wife comes and said, you want me to tell you something to make you happy and mad at the same time?
Yeah.
Holy.
And she goes, out of all your friends, you got the biggest dick. So you're happy and mad. That's how I felt. I'm like mad but happy. At the same time, proud. You know, so it was good, but
It's one of those things though where I'll say that there's two ways to go off program and hit like a 1 rep max like that, where it's one where you absolutely smoke it and it's not even a problem and it's barely even registering in terms of like a real fatigue, which I would say that was pretty close.
That was
to
pretty
honestly,
close.
like you said he was tired the next day, but like I think that was not certainly not like a 10 out of 10 exertion where he was like fucking hitching it. And
I would say
ramping
that
it.
was an RPE 9.
Yeah, I'd probably put it around that. But he, sorry for being knowledgeable of the subject, guys. But so but he could have done more, whatever. So there's that, or there's where it's like if he would have done like 850.
Yeah.
And if it would have been the hardest thing you've ever seen, but you were like, fuck, man, like, I didn't think you could do 850.
Yeah.
So you showed me something. You know what I mean? Like, if it's going to be hard, it better not be something where you're like, well, obviously, I knew you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if he pulled 800 and it was the hardest thing he's ever done,
Yeah.
you'd be like, well, yeah, but we knew that with a proper peak, you could pull 800. So who cares? You know what I mean? Where, or it better be really easy. That's really the only real option.
I'm really jealous of the guy, and we always, we talk about Dan, we talk about Pat, we talk about certain guys here, and for one, it's because we coach them, and they're a big part of our lives in a sense. But I didn't own a gym like a high-end gym like you guys did, where you trained a lot of high-end athletes. I've never had a guy who's naturally athletic. I've had myself, and there's nothing natural about me, like besides my big titties. But
By the way, have you looked at my Instagram lately?
no, I haven't.
Go
I
to
don't
my
follow
page.
you
Go to my
because
page.
you didn't follow me, so I unfollowed you.
That's
Oh,
good.
you
Good
and
for
every other
I actually
chick.
did that.
Good for you for
yeah,
doing
I looked
that.
up
Devin and
followers.
every other woman.
I unfollowed. I was all bummed.
I'd follow you, but I know you won't follow me back. Wow.
Literally what I did. I
You're
unfollowed.
really teaching me a lesson.
Nothing wrong with that.
Clearly, it bothered. I mean, I didn't. What's your name?
David Beakley. Been the
Doesn't
same
come
thing
up.
for
I must
43
have blocked
years.
you.
He blocked him too.
There's a lot of you.
Well, try looking up Devin.Penner.
Oh, don't even start with that shit.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
What the fudge crackers?
For anybody who hasn't seen it, it's just a picture of Devin with the photoshopped onto a big
Devin.Penner.official. You cocksucker.
official.
What the shit? I'm not
funny.
following you.
But and then okay, so wait. So
I'm actually going to unfollow you from my gym page, too.
Before we go too far in the conversation of Devin's tits here,
Report my account.
something that we haven't. It's like it's pretty obvious. I think like
Yeah.
when I say it, you're gonna be like, well, fucking duh. But it's not something that we really think about too much because we haven't had a super competitive like division system in
Nothing.
Manitoba.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to call Pat the best 105 that's ever come out of Manitoba,
By far.
right? Like that's like
Yeah.
he's and he's gonna be a guy where it's not just because there hasn't been a lot of competition.
It's just,
He's going to
the
be a
best.
really, really hard one for someone to beat.
He's like I would say before him. I would say at one point I was probably the best 105 at one point.
Sure.
And then it's not even a comparison now. Like that's why I keep talking. I'm glad I beat you when I did because I couldn't do it now.
Right. Well,
he's so athletic.
Yeah.
Like I just think like when we're joking around box jumps at the gym the other day. There's no effort for him to jump up to 45, 40 inches. Just it doesn't make sense to me because I've never dealt with that type with an athlete. But
I can't think the last 15, 20 years anyone who'd come close.
no,
Brent.
Brent Ham?
I'd say Ham, you,
Ham, yeah.
and him, and no offense to you or
Yeah.
Hammer.
No, but
It's not.
It's not there.
we never had a 105 pulling 800 pounds.
No.
You're not 1B. I'll just
Yeah.
put it that way.
Pat's like really showing himself to be a different sort of competitor and athlete, and that's what I actually wanted to ask you a little bit about this because I was talking to Thrones about it, where like what's his trajectory now? Like, does he stay? Like, Is he going to be a 105 guy for as long as he wants? Like, because he can weigh what he weighs and still compete in the open division.
Oh, that way. Yeah. He's told the Open to go do pro shows at Open.
Because I think he should.
Yeah, he wants the Arnolds, and I think he wants. He should have had his pro stats at Nationals ready. He just screwed up his throw, and that was just the way. Here, we're not practicing sandbag throws, and he lost his pro card over the sandbag throw.
but let's use that as an example. Say like Nationals. Like, so he did very well there. He got second. He knew that he could have on a different day gotten first.
Yeah.
But you didn't. Whatever.
That's the way it goes.
Neither here nor there. But does he, if he's doing Nationals again this year, which I'm not sure if he is or not, but does he do 105 again, or is he going to try to do the Open division?
I don't know if we're doing Nationals here.
Okay.
It's going to be all depend how Arnold's go.
Right.
And how important OSG is to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say hypothetically.
Yeah, hypothetically, I'll have to talk to him. He might run 105 just because he wants that title.
Right. Because 105 is like the only one besides Open that really has.
Yeah,
like
no one gives a shit about 120.
No, the 120 is a good category for guys who are just like they're just not
U120
ready to break out to the Open
is for the skinny fat guys.
Speaking as your Manitoba rep, I strongly disagree. But it's
That's for the guy who has a log record in the U120
yeah,
category.
that's true too. That's true too.
And I'm exactly skinny fat.
But it's an interesting thing where, like, okay, so yesterday Jeffers was doing like an Ask Me Anything on his page.
Yeah.
And he said he got rank the 10 Western strongman.
Yeah.
And Pat wasn't on the list.
Yeah, I was a little.
But I'm not surprised at all by that.
Yeah.
Because Pat doesn't, and it's not necessarily his fault. He's got a family. He's got a job. Yeah. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
We've been all through all that. But he didn't do any of the circuit shows. He didn't do Westerns.
He did the Pro in Morris.
He did that one.
He did
the
Westerns
one.
105.
But that's that's what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
with Isaac Mays.
He needs to if he wants to be seen as like a competitive guy with the Open guys, he has to compete.
No,
with
but
the
even
open
that.
guys.
But even take that. He did Magnus Open, placed higher than some of the guys on that list.
And I'll add the caveat.
Yeah.
It can't be locally.
So
no
but he did.
No one sees the local stuff.
But he did Magnus Open, which Tristan went to Magnus and got the title.
But where was that competition?
It was in Manitoba. Yeah. Then he did the Pro-Am, placed higher than some of the guys on the list.
Where was that one?
In Morris.
Locally.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
It does though.
How come?
Because he's not being seen. I'm not saying in terms of how good he is. I'm not saying how good he is.
But the guy who made the list was at both of those shows.
But he's not. But there was 5 other guys who were also doing Westerns. Who also, like, everyone on that list also did Farmstrong, also did Westerns.
But he also went to Westerns. He did the 105.
That's not Westerns.
It was 105 Westerns they had. The 105 Canada Strongest Man.
But this is what I'm saying.
That's what I mean.
But this is what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
But we're
that's where me and you'll disagree.
No, but we're saying the same thing. I'm saying that him doing the 105 shows is not getting him the recognition that he deserves.
Yeah, I guess in terms of
and it won't
in certain guys' eyes.
And frankly, it won't.
Yeah.
Because let's say that JF, who runs the pro circuit, he's not looking at the 105 shows.
No, he's not. No,
he's looking at the Open shows.
Yeah.
Right. So that's got to be a decision that either him and every other 105 guy.
So what you're saying is any Open show down in Manitoba, JF doesn't care about. If you're saying Magnus and Rumble placings don't matter,
a non-circuit show, absolutely.
Yeah,
I would agree with that. Because why would he? It's not his circuit.
Yeah, but what does JF's opinion matter then if you're trying to get something other than the circuit? If you're trying to get to Magnus or trying to go through that road or Giants Live, why do you care about the circus or the circuit?
Because the circuit matters in Canada. If you care about going to Canada's Strongest Man,
if you care about that,
being Canada's Strongest
Man,
yeah,
if that's important to you, Canada's Strongest Man, right?
But I would argue that's important to every Canadian strongman.
Maybe. I mean, not Mitchell Hooper, who's the best guy to come out of Canada ever.
I don't see him as Canadian strongman.
Or not ever, I'd say, but
yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah.
He's not a Canadian.
I would say
strongman
Jeff's the best to come out of Canada ever.
Why is that?
He's never competed in Canada, and he says he won't. So I don't.
So why won't he?
No money in it for him.
He's a businessman.
He's a you can call him that, or you can call him prick, whatever.
No,
you can call him whatever you want.
That's a businessman's mentality, right?
Like,
there's no money in it, so I'm not doing it.
JF made a lot of money competing in Canada.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but is Hooper French?
Hugo Gerard, no, he's not. He's
so
Ontario.
That's another reason.
Hugo Gerard made a lot of money competing in Canada.
Did anybody outside of Quebec make any money? Did Scott Cummins make any money?
Nobody outside of Quebec has won CSM since like 1991 or
No,
two.
but Scott Cummins placed top 3 at CSM how many times? I wonder if he made any money.
Probably not because he didn't win.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you win a prize money for being there, whatever.
But I'm saying, like, the only guys that have made a lot of money in Canada are the French guys.
Because they can market themselves.
Yeah. And Quebec supports their strongmen.
Yeah, sure.
Anybody outside of Quebec doesn't support their strongmen.
Yeah.
Like East Coast, you could have, what's his name? Oh, no, he did well on the East Coast. Man, you're going to know who I'm talking about. He MCs the shows for the circuit often. Older gentleman in his 50s now.
Ashley McIsaac.
I thought he was from the East Coast. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. Oh, the guy who did the Gimli show.
Yeah, whatever. I can't think of his name.
But the point that I'm making though, and
Not Marshall Ennis,
I think it's just kind of proven. Oh, I was thinking of Marshall Ennis actually.
Yeah.
It's just proven in just seeing like that list and seeing guys who are like, who do you think is going to be the next whatever, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
If you're not visible, if you're not like being seen at these shows, that does matter. It
Well,
matters.
that's one thing about all sports that sucks. It's just like hockey and football. It's all about who you know in politics to get into shows.
But yes and no, you can.
You got a guy like Wesley Claiborne who's done feats of strength and strongman that no one else has touched, but yet he doesn't get invited to the big shows because
he's got to go to
because he's not visual.
There's a route you have to take.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And right or wrong, that's what it is.
Take a guy like Andrew Clayton, who's won OSG 105 Worlds twice, placed really high at the Giants Live, and still doesn't get invites because he's not. He has a bit of personality people don't like.
I would suggest there's probably things behind the scene that
there could be.
If everything adds up and you should be at these shows and you're not there, it tells me there's probably something that we don't know about.
Well, it's a personality based thing for him. People don't like his personality.
Yeah.
He has the axle record, or he did, for the Open at 462-pound axle clean and press. Won OSG Worlds twice for the 105. Well, OSG is Worlds for weight class athletes, right? That's what it is, really. And doesn't get the invites. I feel
But invites to what though?
Well, Clash he didn't. He did this year, I think. Yeah, because he won Clash this year. Yeah, he won Clash this year. He's been to Giants Live. Because
you won't be invited to Giants Live or Worlds if you're not an open competitor.
And he was an open competitor in Giants Live. Yeah, he competed there.
How did he do?
I blew his knee out on the axle world record.
So that's unfortunate. That does happen.
Yeah. But like I look at guys like Wesley Claiborne who are doing phenomenal and never get the invites they deserve.
Okay, so then I'll turn this around on you then. So
you can't tell me there's no politics in the invites.
No, of course there is. Of course there is. 100%. I would not in any way pretend there's not.
Because there's guys that are at shows that at the open shows, the big shows like Worlds qualifiers, that shouldn't be there over top of a lot of other guys.
The question that I would pose is, does Pat care? And you might not be able to answer this.
I won't know.
Does Pat care about being one of the top strongmen in Canada?
Yeah, I don't know if
the answer is no, then it doesn't really matter.
I wouldn't know. I haven't actually ever asked him that.
But if he has any kind of like desire inside of him to be like, I want to be known as one of the big guys and like the top dogs in Canada. I want to be, when they list those 10 guys, I want to be on that list or whatever. Then what would you say is his route then? If it's not the open competitions, what is it?
No, I think if you want to list in top 10 in Canada, then you'll have to try getting a CSM.
Right.
That would be where you're going to be. But there were guys on that list that weren't a CSM level. Wasn't Crisby on that list?
This was purely Western Canada list, though.
Yeah, wasn't Crisby on there?
Yeah.
And
but he's done Farmstrong, he's done Westerns, and he's done well. He's done well.
People know who he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But he was a guy who didn't come to nationals, isn't a pro strongman.
Right.
And still got, you know what I mean?
So maybe what we can agree on then would be that the 105
but
doesn't get the recognition
that's
that
Jeffers'
it maybe
list.
Deserves.
Does that mean Jeffers' list is the NLBL?
No.
Tristan Holtz would have a different.
Tristan
would have a different
Jeffers
list.
Is what you're saying.
It's certainly not the end all be all, but I would give Jeffers the credit of he pays very close attention, very close attention to what's going on.
Yeah.
And I know that even like if we're looking at that list, like say like Pat beat Dan on
every show
those shows.
Yeah.
But Dan also came, he got second in the open division.
Yeah.
Right? He came in, he did really well at the
top
of the amateurs.
So I was always
Farmstrong.
like, if Pat beat Dan, and I love Dan, so it's not shut down.
No, not
but
at all.
Pat beat Dan at the
Magnus
Magnus and the Pro Show, and then went and Dan got second open. Does that mean we had a very open or weak open division at nationals? If the guy in 105 who beat them all only placed second in the 105 nationals?
I would suggest that Dan improved a lot.
But is that the gauge we're running? That's what I mean. Yeah, like it was. And Magnus Nationals was 2 months.
This is the thing, is that no one's saying that like Pat should be doing. This is kind of what I'm getting around to, is that Pat do open competitions.
Because, he's not against it
because you're too strong for the 105 division.
And I don't know what his plans. Arnold's. I mean, you can't go from. I don't know. You can take a 105 invite at Arnold's and be like, no, I'm jumping in the open. I think the Arnold invites are the invites.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I think that's OSG. Same thing. Your invite is your invite. If I'm for sure, your invite is your invite.
I know. Well, they had some sort of rule for plus or minus pounds on what you could do.
Because you couldn't go down though.
No, but if you missed weight, you were able to go up as long as you were a certain.
That would make sense.
Within a certain percentage of your. Yeah. Of the weight you missed.
So Pat was going to do the Rumble show, and the problem is with Pat is all the shows in Canada are in the summertime.
Well, that's going to be a problem for him.
And Pat runs a farm with his dad, and he doesn't have workers, so he is on the tractor summer long.
Here's one for you. There's a show in a couple weeks
in Brunswick,
in Shippagan, in New Brunswick.
Yeah,
that was an invite show.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm talking about. That was an opportunity for it to go to a show in the wintertime. It was a Magnus qualifier, all this stuff. It's a big show.
Yeah.
But because Pat's not on the radar, he doesn't get an invite.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Is that's where like you can call it politics, you can call it whatever you want.
Did anybody else from Manitoba get an invite to that show?
Dan did, yeah.
He did?
Yeah.
Did you get an invite?
No.
How
Dan,
come?
I don't know what the parameters were for the invites, but
That's because
most Western guys didn't. A couple guys did, and
I think the reason being is because I'm putting one on here for Magnus. So their thought process, why? Because I told them I don't want to be losing all our athletes from the West for our show if you're putting on another qualifier in the West. And I wasn't going to put on Gimli this year.
if I were to guess, it's that Jeffers is because Jeffers was invited, top guy in the West. Why not?
Yeah.
And then I think that the top
And Tristan's automatically qualified.
Yeah, so he didn't get invited, but like say Colton didn't either. And it was.
Is it because Colton's coming off injury? Maybe they figured give him more time.
I think if I were to guess, they invited the podium from Open division for nationals because I know that Nathan Edwards is there too.
Oh, okay. Yep. No, that makes sense.
And maybe Lars too. I'm not sure. So
okay, it's still recording. Don't worry about it, guys.
So that would be an example of what I'm saying though is that's where it's valuable to get yourself out there because now that's just an opportunity for a winter show that would have been lined up perfectly for him except for that it's kind of close to Arnold's, but either way, he could have done it, but he's just not on people's minds, because he's not out there enough. You know what I mean? And that's where the 105 division
you are right, in the
really
invite
limits
sense.
you. Yeah, that's where the 105 division really limits you. Is that so? If Pat's listening, I hope that he does Westerns this year instead of that 105 show.
Yeah,
because I think that he could do some damage at Westerns, and I think that it goes a long way in showing guys that you're ready to hang with those shows if you can come and do really well at an open show, which I do feel like he would do.
Well, and that was his thing. The first year he was 190 pounds. He started strongman.
Right.
And then this last year, we need to put on weight. So he put on weight and got up. Now he's at 230.
Right.
Even last season competing, he wasn't at 230 yet.
Right.
So I mean, that lift at 803 was at 200, probably 28 pounds in the morning because he's still struggling to stay at 230.
Right.
And the guy eats a shit ton.
And like you said,
but now Ben Thompson got to 350. So I mean, I guess is he really eating a shit ton?
It can be done.
Yeah.
But
well, he's not going to do it overnight.
No, exactly. And he put on 40 pounds since last season.
Yeah, and he's fucking huge.
Yeah.
And but you were saying too, like it's like the circuit only goes so far as if you care about Canada's Strongest Man. But like, what does Canada's Strongest 105 get you?
Yeah, nothing.
Less.
Yeah.
Less than
invite
nothing.
to the clash.
You know what I mean? Like it's just it would be depending on what his trajectory is. Like I said, well, maybe we should have Pat on sometime and ask him what is important to you? Like what are you trying to do in strongman? Because I'd be curious to know, just like as a guy who has so much potential as him, but limited time.
Yeah.
And limited.
Well, and I guess it is. Does it matter? Yeah, I guess, and I can't answer for because I don't know what he wants in life in terms of strongman. Not competing. Does he want to compete at Canada Strongest Man? I always kind of reference like Melissa Peacock's never done Canada Strongest Woman. And she should be top, should be there. And that's maybe she favors some shows in the States because she's also at a higher level than where Pat is anyways.
Right.
But,
it's hard to say though. Yeah. It would really be dependent on what a person's looking for out of their.
Yeah. It does, and I get that you need exposure. I was the same way. I didn't travel for a lot of shows, so I didn't get invites.
Right.
Even though I was beating guys who were getting invites, I didn't get them because I didn't travel.
Right.
I chose business and family over it because it just wasn't as a priority to me. Simple as that.
You know, if
it comes down to it wasn't a priority.
If you're a young guy who's playing hockey up in Split Lake,
you're not getting seen.
You could be fucking amazing,
but
you're gonna have to go to the city and play at some point.
You have to at least make a YouTube video.
Right. Well, but you're gonna have to. Yeah. Well, maybe that's what it is. But you got to do something that's that gets people watching you because they can't sign you if they don't see you. Right. It's just simple.
Aaron Lewis didn't start staying until he left clan meetings.
Exactly. He got out of the fucking.
You don't even
he got out of the clan halls and he got out there and started writing music.
Don't tread on him.
So that what do we have for time here right now?
Yeah, we've got about 5 minutes. So I got to leave.
Okay, 5 minutes till you got to leave.
I got to pick up my dog.
So we got
dog?
Did you know dogs have 42 teeth?
I wouldn't. I know.
And my dog is now losing 23 of them.
I bet that's expensive.
Put the value of that one, yeah.
22 more if you keep talking shit.
Hold on, actually, wait.
Danielle texts me. She's like, Jack says he had bad breath. You know, we brushed his teeth. His teeth aren't. I'm like, what the heck?
How many teeth was it?
42.
No, how many teeth is he
23.
losing? 23. You're paying about. You guys do the math on this one. He's paying about $87 a tooth.
I just told her, like, why don't we just shoot him? We can't just shoot him.
Oh. It's funny because if you shot that dog, he would just blow up. Like,
there'd be nothing left.
It would be like a free cremation almost.
Use the 50 cal on that thing. She's like, we're not shooting the dog. I'm like, I was just joking. I'm going to shoot my dog. You know?
Look, man, I got to roll with pets.
Yeah.
As soon as their vet bills cost what it cost you to buy them,
to get them,
take them to the farm.
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah, it was. I wasn't expecting. I asked you. I just text back, like, WTF, what's this costing us?
Yeah.
And then she's like, well. Yeah.
That's
we have
good.
Nova, who already paid lots of money for, and my bear luckily haven't paid a lot. My mama, but
The outdoor dogs, they're healthy ones, you know?
Yeah,
the
Mumba's
the ones who just be outside and just do
yeah,
their shit.
she's starting to get some issues now, but she's also
She's getting
9.
old, though, too.
Yeah, she's 9. She's on the last year or two, right?
That's old for a big dog. That's
yeah,
a
her
big-
lifespan's 8 to 10.
Yeah,
and
so
when we
it's-
brought her to the vet last year, they said to see a 10-year-old Newfie was very rare for them.
Okay. But she's healthy. Like, she moves, she's exercising, she's doing
Yeah.
stuff, she's outside all the time. Not so much anymore?
No, she has her own couch. I gave her a couch now, and I put so she has her own couch she sleeps on, and then she goes outside and lays on the driveway for a while, and then comes back inside, lays on the couch, and goes back inside, lays in the driveway.
Well, that's still
And
pretty
if it's
nice.
snowing, she'll be gone for hours, and then you just gotta look for a hump because she'll just lay on the snow until it's completely covered.
Really? Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, because she loves minus 40. Then she's outside.
Since we're in the, did you guys have anything? I mean, we kind of,
We actually blasted through this episode. My
yeah.
bad.
Did you guys have anything you wanted to go over at all, or anything you wanted to?
Was that our first conflict?
Was that conflict? I
don't
wouldn't
know,
call it
was it?
conflict. I'd call that a lively discussion.
What did our mediator
You've
think?
been pretty quiet this whole time. Do you have anything you want to put in there?
Talking over YouTube? No, I got nothing, man. I got 10, 11 to 13-year-old Falcons football players.
Okay.
Like you're training already, 10 of them?
Training
Because you were
right
5
now.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Nice,
So I got
that's
2
awesome.
groups of 5 now.
That's awesome.
Starting December, all of them are up 5 pounds or more.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, we got
Doing the stuffing?
2 of them. No. But
okay.
my Dakota kid is doing the stuffing again.
Yeah.
It's funny because his uncle was like, I think you and I talked
Yeah.
about it, but his uncle was like, there's better, like cleaner ways to put on weight.
Just ask him what that means.
Exactly.
What does that
And,
mean?
and
What-
that's why I
what's-
said, I'm like, I don't want to disrespect your uncle.
Yeah.
So unless he does what I've been doing for the last 20 years,
Yeah.
like I don't totally care about his opinion, no offense,
Right.
but the deal is
His uncle's the guy doing a clean bulk.
So yeah, you want this 13-year-old kid to put on?
I'm like, you have 4 months till next
every,
season.
Yeah, like
And you play touch football and flag football, and you have phys ed class, and you're working out.
Yeah.
You need these shitty calories.
Yeah.
And
you know,
and
most
getting them
kids have
before-
very clean diets, so
Yeah.
that's really something that you should be. If your
Yeah.
kid, especially most kids who aren't playing sports,
Yeah.
very clean diets. So that's
Yeah.
why I'd really be concerned about that.
Yeah.
That's for fucking sure.
But all my Falcons kids, like 2 of them have 225 trap bar deadlift for 5.
These are 11 to 13-year-olds.
11 to 13
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
No one's under 135. So even like the 2 11-year-olds.
You have a stacked team.
Well,
next
one of
year.
them's Hidemaki's kid,
Oh,
yeah.
and I think he was 190. The other kid,
So he should be deadlifting 700-800 pounds.
he'll be there,
He'll
no
be
doubt.
right after Pat.
he'll be our
That's
next
800.
active
Yeah.
800 pounder.
yeah.
The kid's an absolute beauty too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, those kids are going great. Xander, the Dakota receiver, he's just like, he would squat every day if I'd let him. He's like,
Yeah.
I just love squatting. Squats to depth. Calls other people out on squatting to depth. I'm like, you might be my son. Like, no offense to your father, but you might actually be mine. Like a squat snob that never wants to do upper body.
That's funny.
Amazing.
Yeah, but that's training wise, that's about all that's going on in my life.
Sounds good though. It's like that's,
Sweet.
It's good. It's
That's the shit that you're good at. You've always been good at it, which is
Yeah.
working with like the young dudes and the guys who are the uninitiated to the gym and making them so that they know it's fun and it's not like a I mean, I guess it's always a little intimidating, but it's not as intimidating as it can be when you're an 11-year-old kid trying to get into a gym full of guys and
yeah. And actually something very rewarding. Wellness 365, Brennan and I hired a former Explode football kid.
Oh, nice.
And he came on my radar because he messaged me to say that he's getting into the fitness world and thanked McDole and myself for
You want to say who? Who's that?
Beck Fullerton, former Massey quarterback.
Okay.
Great dude. But he's just like, you guys showed me what it's like. Not only the drive, but like how to treat other people and what a real gym is like when you're focused on results, like
Right.
not this fluffy shit. And he's like, not to be like Andrew Tate about it, but you can like push people and get more out of people without being cocksuckers.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's kind of like a rewarding message to get where work you put in 10 years ago or however long ago
Plant
kind
those
of comes.
seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
someone took something and ran with
Yeah,
it.
that's great.
Makes
That's
sense.
good.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Devin, is that your time right there, pretty much?
Yeah,
or-
I got to bounce.
Okay.
I can't.
So with that, we'll wrap up really fast here on behalf of Devin, Beeks, myself. Thanks for watching, and follow us on Instagram and get signed up for the log competition, which is on March 16th. Registration's open. Email me, tylersigurdsson204@gmail.com or Instagram, whatever. And within probably this week, we'll open the registration for the novice competition. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. We'll have novice women, men, and also a teens division if we have anybody. We have a couple teens so
Yep, we
far.
got
If anybody
two
else,
teens,
if your kids want to get involved, let us know.
Team or teen?
Teen.
Teen, yeah. We
Teen.
got 2 teenagers, 15-year-old and a
So long.
Take care.